Miss Ingrid Parent was under Secretary and Assistant Deputy Minister at Library and Archives in Canada. She is the 2009 winner of the Canadian Association of Research Libraries Award for Distinguished Service to Research Librarianship. She is President-elect of IFLAs. So we are going to hear her soon. You have the floor. Thank you, Mr. Massey, and good morning, everyone.
Interesting and enlightening few days of discussions. And there's no doubt that regardless of where we come from, what organizations we represent, or what culture we represent, we are collectively challenged by the powerful force of change that the digital age is imposing on all our institutions, including libraries, of course. And I was reflecting on sort of the history of how information is disseminated. And, you know, not that long ago, information rested solely with governments, with large institutions, and with a privileged segment of society. Now, information is easily available to anyone who walks into an internet cafe or even into a library. And if you add to that mix, you add social media tools that are available now, that allows the user to share information around the world in real time. And therefore, the social and the political implications of this have been enormous, and I don't think we will ever go back. So for libraries, the promise brought about by that digital revolution is wonderful. It's a great opportunity for libraries, but it also contains seeds of peril. In an age where individuals can more quickly adapt to new technologies than perhaps institutions can, allowing individuals to access information themselves, they may bypass libraries altogether and bypass other institutions. So therefore, I guess my main message is that libraries are reviewing, rethinking, looking for the way to maintain that trusted brand of providing users with hard copy access to their collections and their expertise, while at the same time trying to meet that ever-growing demand by our users for digital access to those same collections. When I consider the promises and the perils that such a universe is imposing on those of us in information access, I think that the digital library really does represent now a golden opportunity for us to serve our users in better ways. And so I'd just like to briefly present to you a few thoughts on how we can get there. So first of all, information, as we know, is now borderless, it's global. Libraries of all types and in all regions of the world must be prepared to explore new methods of outreach to local, national, and international communities. We must be able to provide seamless access to information for our users, no matter where they are, no matter what format. And that means collaborating, not just libraries themselves with each other, but also with our cultural institutions that share our same objectives, archives, museums, and other types of organizations, so that we can offer the most complete and best service to our users. I think libraries have always been known for partnering and collaborating, and I think that is one of that's what we build our reputation on, but I think we can do so much more in collaborating with others. And just a quick word about acknowledging the implications of all this sharing of information on our licensing access and digital rights management. It will be a challenge for us to find that right balance between the creator and the user of information. And at the WIPO level now, IFLA, which is the organization I represent, is negotiating with our partners to find that balance and to have a system, a robust system of exceptions and limitations to allow libraries to perform their core functions that they always have in the print world. Second, as Robert Darnton pointed out earlier this week, libraries are busier than ever. Perhaps our circulation and our interlibrary loan statistics are decreasing. The number of in-person visits to libraries is growing tremendously for a variety of reasons. And I think community and public libraries are especially becoming more used because of the need for people to access information, both traditional and digital resources. And university libraries, where I come from, we are adapting our spaces, our physical spaces, to accommodate changing needs of our users when they're using technology and when they're studying together. It has really made us more important in terms of having people come to us in greater numbers than ever before. Because people do expect to work and to study whenever and wherever they want. So the third point I want to make is we need to focus on our users. Their information-seeking behaviors have changed tremendously with the advent of the new digital technologies. There is one US study that I was looking at that showed that 98% of the students on college campuses come with some form of digital device, a mobile or a laptop or a tablet. And they say they cannot study without using these devices. However, I think there are some limitations with this. We are in a very information-rich, technology-enabled society. But how many students, how many people who live online, they don't think to ask themselves anymore, is this all there is? I think some of them assume that anything of relevance is already online, as if the knowledge universe was just created about 10 years ago. So there is still information illiteracy amongst our users, even the educated ones. And it is the librarian and the information provider who I think are in a unique position to guide our users to make sense of the universe, which is absolutely filled with information and data. So while libraries will continue to evolve and respond to changing user needs, I just want to say that the values that libraries bring, whether in a traditional form or in a digital form, are still there. The values of freedom of expression, the values of collaboration, of service excellence, and I don't think those will ever go away. My fourth point deals with IFLA, which is the International Federation of Library Associations. It is seen to be the trusted global voice of the library community, and it drives equitable access to information. The topics we're discussing here are some things that IFLA is very interested in, of course. And just last year in Tokyo, we had a conference in association with our partners, other NGOs, dealing with the culture of reading in the digital age. And certainly one of IFLA's top priorities is to focus on assisting libraries to manage the life cycle of digital information. It is a time of change, and that is going to be my theme for IFLA presidency for the next 2 years. How libraries, no matter if you're a national library, university library, public library, what a great role we now have to be a positive force for change for individuals, but also for societies. And fifth and finally, I would just like to say that although, as we all have heard, this session is on digital libraries, I don't believe that the printed book will ever disappear. And certainly when one communication format comes along, it does not necessarily replace another communication format. I've heard that, some people said photography will replace paintings. As we saw last evening at that wonderful museum, I'm glad that photography did not replace paintings, because paintings only express in a different art form the feelings of the creator and the artist. So it is something that is going to exist in a hybrid situation. Libraries will be working in this environment for many years to come. And the outcomes are uncertain, but I'd just like to close with a thought that came from the Association of Research Libraries in North America. They were studying the future, and they came up with a few scenarios. But one of the things that was said was that confronting uncertainty in a rapidly changing environment is essential if libraries are to continue to be valued and valuable. The temptation to wait and see is appealing, but exposes libraries to the risks of irrelevance and replacement. I know that we're not going to let that happen, that libraries can meet those challenges in the digital age and have a positive impact on the knowledge society. So thank you very much.